Hello, this is Justin Smith, and this is my ICARE analysis of the 60-second advertisement for the Run Trails Eat Bacon YouTube channel. So the goal of Run Trails Eat Bacon is finding joy through trails and bacon. So the goal of this advertisement is to bring people to the YouTube channel who would want to find joy through trails and bacon. So my intended audience was people in the trail culture, mountain bikers, trail runners, hikers, backpackers, but I also wanted to bring in people that enjoy those activities, but not on the trails, to kind of show them that doing these on the trails can also be fun and entertaining. So the goal of the narrator was to first target the intended audience. The narrator asked questions like, do you go biking to find people don't share the road? Do you walk down the neighborhood streets and breathe in car exhaust? So if people would answer yes to these questions, they would know they're my target audience. This advertisement's for them. And now the narrator has their attention. So the narrator has their attention. The narrator needs to keep their attention. And then finally, the call to action. The call to action is driving people to the YouTube channel. So the narrator would say, go to the YouTube search bar and type in Run Trails Eat Bacon. And through previous feedback, I did research and I found out this actually is the best way to locate the channel. So all that's included in there. And then for the emotional appeal, this is a little bit hidden, but towards the end, I said, go out and find your own adventure, dramatic pause, or create an adventure with your friends. So I really want people to think, would they want to go out and explore by themselves, or are they social? Do they want to bring their family, their kids, their friends? And that way, when they get to the YouTube channel and they start searching these beautiful trails and they're seeing the camera go through the beautiful trails, they're going to picture either themselves escaping everything and being in the beauty or enjoying this experience with their family, friends, or whoever they might be going with. So that's something I kind of threw into the end just to kind of plant a seed before they actually get to the YouTube channel. So my evaluation of the advertisement, it is very busy. I put a lot of content in a 60-second ad, and it's really hard to know how much content can you take out, because if you take a lot of content out, you kind of interrupt the flow of it. You got the beginning, middle, and advertisements almost like telling a story because you want to keep the listener engaged through the whole thing. So I really didn't take out a lot of content. I still took out some, but since I didn't take any content out of the middle, I didn't have a good intro. I didn't have a music outro. A lot of advertisements have music intro to kind of prep you for the message that is about to be delivered. So if my advertisement is here and I have another ad in front of mine, if that ad finishes up, mine starts talking immediately. So I have to have a very intentional listener to really pay attention right when I start talking. Otherwise, I can lose them within the beginning of the advertisement. So another thing that I realized I left out, but due to the 1 minute time constraint I couldn't put in, is like and subscribe. Now I did get this in the 30-second ad, but it was left out of the 1 minute ad. The huge thing with YouTube channels is telling people to like and subscribe. Once people subscribe to you and you create new content, it immediately goes to their page and it's a lot easier for them to find it. And then they can just click on it out of a curiosity. So that's something that I really need to find a way to fit into a 1 minute ad in the future. And it's definitely something like that call to action. You're going to go to the YouTube channel, like and subscribe. So people just kind of have that call to action in the back of their mind and they just subconsciously do it. So it's something easily that you can say and they'll just kind of do it without even thinking about it. So the music, when I first had the draft of this 60-second ad, I had slow piano music and then upbeat music carrying up, 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 and then you had high energy music. So I had a huge flow that would kind of go with the words of the ad. But when you have a 1 minute advertisement, it can get really messy if you added multiple music tracks. And then so I stuck to one music track. And then with that one music track, I didn't even have a fade in and fade out because there's just such a small amount of time in the middle. If you fade out, fade in, fade out, you can have 30% of the advertisement be music fading, which could be distracting from the message. So I have the one soundtrack and it's kind of flat all the way through. So I'm curious to listen to other advertisements to see, do they fade in, fade out their music, or do they only put their music in certain parts of it and not have music throughout the whole thing? And then another aspect that I will put in my evaluation is the sound bites. I've never really dealt with sound bites before, and it was really interesting. So when it comes to a soundbite, and let's say I have the soundbite of a bicycle zooming by, do I put a bicycle zooming by while I'm saying it directly? So if I'm editing right under the words I'm saying, that way as I say it, they picture it, or do I put the soundbite after it? And then a lot of these sound bites I used whenever you finish a sentence, you take a breath, you start your next sentence. I would use a sound bite to fill that gap. But in doing that, and I only had one minute, so I didn't have a lot of dramatic pauses. So in doing that, I clipped sound bites so short and so small, I feel the listener for listening to the first time might miss out on the sound bite. So I also need to do research and learn when it comes to sound bites, can they continue into the next sentence? Would that be disruptive or would it actually help the flow? And then how long are sound bites usually? And then finally, as I kind of touched on earlier, the dramatic pauses. One things I learned from doing public speaking and Toastmasters is I gotta slow down. And I'm probably rambling through this whole analysis right now at a super fast speed, but dramatic pauses really help keep the person's attention. And it's much better to use a dramatic pause to keep them on the hook than filler words like so, and. So I really need to find a way to cut some content out of the advertisement, keep the flow, but add in dramatic pauses and then find a way to fill in the sound bites and find out what to do with the music behind it. It's been a whole wild adventure throwing this together. I still think it sounds pretty good, but I know there's a lot of things I can do and a lot of studying I can do to make it even better next time. Thank you.